Welcome back to my channel, folks, for another episode of 50 Flowers in 50 Days, where we look at a series of plants in diverse habitats. Today, the plant that we are looking for is a plant known as Redshank or Redleg Persicaria maculosa, which is a plant in the family Polygonaceae, which is the knotweed family. These tiny florets are in fact not petals, but tubes composed of sepals or sepal tubes. Redshank is a plant of damp or disturbed soils and is an arable weed of cultivated fields. A key identifier for this species is the black or brown leaf spot resembling a chevron found on the upper surface of the lanceolate leaf blade. The plant is known by a number of common vernaculars, none the least redshank, redleg, lady's thumb or Jesus plant, most of which are derived from the physical appearance and characteristics of the plant. Redleg resembling the jointed stems or the red crimson colour of the stem, and the lady's thumb in relation to the black mark on the leaf blade. The term Jesus plant was also used as it was thought to be the plant that was at the foot of the cross at Calvary, and either the flowers or the dark mark was thought to be the blood of Jesus. The Latin binomial is relatively straightforward. The prefix Persicaria, coming from the family name Polygonaceae, which means many jointed, and due to the red leaf nodes resembling legs with vascular issues. The suffix maculosa refers to the nodules or spots on the leaf of the plant. Finally, a brief introduction to the habitat of this plant. Redshank is a low-growing annual ground-layer plant, and in the British Isles this plant is an arable weed without natural habit and is always associated with human activity. Its principal characteristic is that it grows in marshy, damp and disturbed soils, including roadways and paths in the urban context. Welcome to my channel, folks, where today on the 50 Flowers in 50 Days series, the plant of today that we are going to look at is a plant of arable field margins known as Redshank or Persicaria maculosa. Welcome to my channel, folks, Wildlife Ranger here on YouTube, where today we're on an arable field margin looking for the next plant in the 50 Flowers in 50 Days series. The plant that we are looking for today being the 8th of July 2025, is a plant known as Redshank or Persicaria maculosa. And this is very much a weed of arable cultivation. As you can see, the track and the field has been recently cultivated with a tractor, which sums the habitat preference up for this little plant. It likes damp, disturbed soils. And we have looked at this plant in two contexts. We have looked at it in the urban setting, where there's no distinct natural habitat other than the fact that it's damp. And we're now in the arable margins, amongst other arable field weeds such as the pineapple mayweed, various thistles including the creeping thistle and the spear thistle. Further up we've got one of the scentless mayweeds and various other weeds such as shepherd's purse, typical of arable field margins. So let's have a look at the plant. I picked quickly a few specimens which sum up the botany of the plant. Starting at the stem on the leaves are tapered and lanceolate tapered towards their base. And what is unique or interesting about the leaves, they contain a black spot. And if I just illustrate that, I don't know if you can see that very much, unlikely, but there is a black spot which is chevron shaped in the centre of the leaf blade. And this is a very distinct feature and characteristic of the Redshank plant. These black spots, or brown spots depending on where you find them, very much occur in situations where they're exposed to sunlight. So this is the leaf. Summarise it again. Margins are entire, the leaf shape is lanceolate, and it tapers towards the base, and it will have a black or brown spot. So that's the leaf structure. Moving further up the plant, on the stem, you may notice here that the two divulging stems are strapped by a structure known as an ochrea, and the ochrea consists of stipules which are effectively making a sheath around both of these stems, and we'll show more clips of that in the video to follow. So moving up the hairless stem, very smooth to the touch, we come to the flower head at the top of the plant. Quite a few things to say about that. First of all, they tend to be redder on the side that faces sun and whiter on the side facing away from the sun, as a general rule. The little flowers consist of 5 tubes pinched at the base, and inside those tubes there are 6 stamens, 2 fused carpels, 2 styles which sum up the botany of the flower. So overall, this is your plant. It's a weed of arable cultivation. As I've said, it likes damp, marshy soils, marshy, humus-rich soils, i.e. acid soils, and it doesn't like lime soils or basic soils, and that very often is used as a means of control where the ground is limed. So this is the plant, Redshank, known under a number of common vernaculars, as I've said, lady's thumb, also Redshank, Redleg, or Jesus plant, and we'll explain the reason for that further in the video. Here we see some plants in the urban environment, namely urban pavements, where the plant tends to be procumbent or laid flat as opposed to scrambling up, competing with other vegetation as we see in the arable field situation. These pioneer or ruderal species are important in 2 contexts. Number 1, stabilising the soil for ecological successions, and number 2, providing bread and butter for pollinators. As always, before we embark on our trek into the field, we look at the features and characteristics which will enable us to identify and find it. As stated, the Redshank is a member of the family Polygonaceae, or the knotweed family. It's an annual plant which can grow up to 20 to 60 centimetres in height, and is either found upright or sprawling as a hairless annual found on damp, disturbed ground and in arable field margins. The inflorescence, the perianth, consists of each tiny pink flower containing 4 or 5 lobes fused near the base and derived from the sepals. Hence they are 5 sepals and no petals, and they are redder where they face the sun. They are 8 stamens with only 5 developing, and 2 fused carpels with 2 styles. The plant is pollinated by small insects. The flowering period of the plant is between June and September. We are not going to deal with the confusion species in depth in this beginner's video, other than to provide a few slides to point you in the right direction. and the plant Redshank or Persicaria maculosa is a much reduced form of the Redshank, where the flowers are limited to the leaf nodes. We may look at knotgrass Persicaria maculosa in another episode. In the meantime, let's have a look at the flowers and leaves of Redshank. The leaves of Redshank are alternate and almost stalkless. They are lanceolate in shape, tapering towards their base, and the leaf margins are entire. The leaf blades often has a brown or black spot which resembles a chevron in the centre, and are narrowly ovate and have entire leaf margins. The following video clips illustrate the structure known as the ochrea, which consists of a band composed from the stipules encapsulating the two branched stems, as can be seen from the video. Well, that's it from me, folks. I hope you have enjoyed today's episode. If you have enjoyed the video or found it interesting or educational, Please like, share and subscribe to help us grow the channel and bring further episodes in the series. So without further ado, we'll echo the words of Maggie, our international symbol of floral appreciation. Whatever the weather may be, go outdoors and enjoy it.